Hey guys, welcome to Julie's Corner. Just kidding, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, there we are. Hey, it's Julie Hamilton with Life Builders, bringing you simple tips to build a strong and healthy life on. Yay, I'm not sick and I feel better, and I went into the gym this morning. I'm so happy to see you guys, and I'm so happy that is gone. So have you ever stopped and taken notice of just the things that are gone that you used to have, like maybe a fear or a pain or a scratchy throat? Sometimes it's nice to just stop and notice what things are just gone. And that was one of the strategies that I learned from the book I'm going to show you today. I hope you guys are doing great. And we are recapping. We did 5 books that could change your 2017. Of course, you have to read them and apply them, but they're 5 powerful books. And today I'm going to be giving you this bonus book. I didn't finish it in 2016. I ordered it and didn't realize it was actually 700 pages. So I am still not done with it, but I'm working on it. And that book today is going to be one called The Tools of Titans. And this is by Tim Ferriss. I'm sorry, it's backwards again. Tools of Titans. This is the book. You can see where I'm at. I'm like, kind of right there. It's a great book, and I wanted to share it with you even though I haven't finished it, because really what I'm learning so far from this book is changing my life, changing my strategies, changing my year already. This is the tactics, routines, and habits of billionaires, icons, and world-class performers. So basically it is a book where taken from people from his podcast that he does, which is called The Tim Ferriss Show, I think. And he kind of condensed down the bits of their interview. So like, let's say you might have an interview, this is kind of a long one. Some of them are short, some of them are long. But you can tell how I mark up pages. Okay, wait a minute. So this guy, so Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he might ask him a bunch of different questions, and they're all different. But what he does, what I really like, is he takes the information and he links it throughout the book. So he might say, Arnold Schwarzenegger might bring up a topic, and Tim Ferriss will say, also look on page 225 at this person because they also believe the same thing. And so I'll tell you, on the plane back from Texas, had a 4 or 5 hour plane ride, and I was sitting by myself, and I actually had the best time. Remember when you were a kid, and remember those books where you would choose the ending and you would like jump to the different endings? Oh, if you want her to go down the hallway, you go to this page, and if you want her to shut the door, you go to this page. Well, that's kind of what I did with here. I had the most fun because I kept going back and forth, and I would be on like reading something about, acro yoga, and then it would be like, if you want to read about this, switch to page this. So I'll switch and read to like, this one says how to approach celebrities and get President Obama to say poo. So anyway, it goes down to different topics. I mean, he even covers stuff like suicide. He covers depression, anxiety, and then also interesting habits of people. And there's like Tony Robbins and Damon John and all of these people that you've heard of, but you wanted to get the inside track to their life and their brain. It's right in here. And there's a lot of topics that I didn't know about, so this is kind of a funny story. I want to tell you about it. I was reading, and there's some things in here about how, by doctors, one of them is, so it's divided into 3 sections: health, wealth, and wise. So healthy, wealthy, and wise. And in the health section, I was reading some things about, ketogenic diet and treatment of cancer, preventing cancer cells from spreading, and which I think is really interesting because we've been trying to do that for a while, although I'm not very successful at it. And then the next topic was on psychedelics. And so I was like, oh, I don't know anything about psychedelics. And I was reading it on the airplane. And it's about how psychedelics can actually help. They're finding it useful in helping treat people with post-traumatic stress disorder and depression and different things. So I was like, well, I'll learn about this because I'm all about learning about things I don't know about. And the guy next to me says, I've been reading it for a while, and he's like, hey, I see you're reading about psychedelics. And I said, yeah. And he started telling me all this. Well, this name of this one, it links into your serotonin receptors, and it does this and that. He's telling me all this stuff about it. And he knew all the names and the chemicals and stuff. And I was like, wow, you know a lot about this. And I said, how do you know so much about all of this information? He said, oh, well, I'm the drug intervention specialist at my work, And so I have to know all the scientific information. And then he's like, and all my friends and I go hunt mushrooms on the weekends. So I was like, okay. So it was pretty funny. And so it just made me laugh because Damien's like, why are you guys talking about psychedelics and mushrooms? He was sitting in front of me. So anyway, it has a lot of topics. Some of the things that I have learned from this book are, trying to think what things I've implemented already. So to increase creativity, for instance, one thing that my girls and I have been doing every morning is making a list of 10 things, like 10 people we'd love to have lunch with, 10 of the craziest things we could do, and we're making these lists just to like get our brains out of being in the box. And also 1,000 true followers, 1,000 true fans. That was another thing I learned about. And also something that Tony Robbins said in his section was about how your state priming your body, because your state affects your story that you're telling yourself. And so I've been noticing that. Today I did not want to go to work out, and I was telling myself, I'm not ready for this, I'm not ready for this, I'm not ready for this. And then I said to myself, what story am I telling myself? How is the state that I'm in right now? Am I tired? Am I awake? Am I feeling anxiety? Am I hormonal? Like what state I'm in is going to affect the story that I'm going to tell myself. So I just said, hey, I am ready for this. You know, when I went to the gym and got it done. My first time back in 3 weeks. So it was great, and I was pooped. But anyway, my state was really affecting my story because it was like 5:30 in the morning and I just woke up and I was like, I don't want to do this. So anyway, there's quite a few things that he talks about in here that I think will give you interesting insight. One other thing is that he found out of all of these people, there's billionaires and millionaires and successful people on a lot of different levels, that 80% of them actually use meditation in a daily form. So a quiet time, a meditative time. I thought that was fascinating that these people are super successful, and part of the reason they're successful is probably because they're training their minds, and I thought that was really phenomenal. So they use 80% of these people use meditation, and I also am finding out, just it's really interesting, a lot of these people are actually really quirky. They may be like really successful in one area, but they have a huge interest in something really funny like soup making or coffee making or, you know, plane collecting or whatever. And another one of the tips that I learned is to just think about what's the next step. And he shared us about Richard Branson and how he wanted to start Virgin Airlines, and you know, he only owned like the music company, and so he was like, how am I going to start this? And so he broke it down to his first step. My first step is to go and talk to this company about chartering an airplane. And so that's what he did. And then it starts the ball rolling from there. So those are a few things that I've learned from here, but I'm finding that I'm really incorporating a lot, and it can't incorporate everything. You have to pick and choose. It's like a buffet. I can't do like mobility exercises and acro yoga every day and like all of this other stuff, but it's interesting to pick and choose what's working for you at that time. So Tools of Titans, 700 pages. I would start with the other books, but if you want to get some rich content and you want to eat this elephant, just do it one bite at a time. And I told you that I kind of skipped around. I probably have read most of the book already, but because I skipped around, I couldn't remember what parts I skipped because I was just having so much fun. And so I kind of started over from the beginning after I read most of it. So I'm just kind of going back through and making sure I didn't miss anything. But I think this is going to be a book you're going to read a lot of times, and still there will be something new. You won't be able to get everything from this book the first time around, or even probably the second or third or fourth time around. So Tools of Titans, if you want a challenge, you want an elephant, you want some rich content, check this out, do this. I mean, you could probably finish this in like a couple hours, you know, after you finish all these ones. But so that's it, and I want to know from you what books you think I should be reading this year. So my next read is going to be, I know a few of them. I'm trying to finish Talk Like Ted. And my next one is going to be Uninvited by Lisa TerKeurst. I'm also going to read Made to Stick. I can't remember who that's by. And then my next one after that will probably be When Breath Becomes Air. And anyway, I have a bunch of them on my list, but that's a few of them that I am going to go for. So this is for the people who haven't been with us all week. I'm just going to review the books I recommended. Don't forget to send me your picture, your proof of purchase of you with your book or the screenshot of your purchase. I know some of you are just getting your books that you've ordered. I know some people were coming in like the 5th and some people the 9th. So once you get those, send it to me. I'm going to send you my guide that I created to help you come up with an action plan. Just stick to your goals. And if you fill it out and you send it back to me, I'm going to email you every quarter personally and just talk to you about how your goals are going and find out how I can help you move forward in those things. So that's it. If you've been with me all week, then you've seen these books, but I'm going to put them up for you to see them right away. So the first one that I recommended was David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell. The second was The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, one of my very favorites. You should really read this if you are trying to reach any kind of goal and you feel that resistance that keeps you from it. And the third one was Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Carolyn Leaf, Positivity. Excuse me. Fourth one was The Happiness Advantage by Sean Achor. I'm so happy Sean Achor commented on the video. And this is about the science of happiness and how it affects the world around you. Did you know that when your attitude affects up to 3 degrees of people around you, that averages out to 1,000 people a day. So it could affect your sons, teachers, spouses. That thing that you said to your son, whether it was encouraging and it put him in a good mood and he encouraged his teacher and then she comes home and encourages him, or whether you snapped at your son and made him in a bad mood and he got mad at the teacher and that made her in a bad mood and then the teacher comes home and takes it out on her husband. That's 3 degrees, and that is how far your attitude goes in one day. It affects about 1,000 people. Once you realize that, it's kind of crazy. The business book I recommended this week was Good to Great, and by Jim Collins, good classic. And the leadership book I recommended was 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. This is a classic. Here's some classics here, guys. So leave me a comment, tell me what you want me to read, what I should be reading, because I love hearing your suggestions and all the great books you guys, Chase the Lion, that's another one by Mark Batterson. That's another one that's on my list to read as well this year. So I hope you guys are having an awesome year. If there's anything I can do to help you move closer to your goals, let me know, and I will be not seeing you, what's today, Friday? I probably won't see you till next week, till Monday. And hopefully bringing you a great interview next week. And I love you guys. Hope you have a great day. May your minds be fierce and your hearts strong and your spirits really kind today. Have a great weekend, guys. See you soon. Bye.